Welcome back. In my previous video, I explained how we are deleting a element from the double linked list at the starting. Now I am going to explain how we are deleting a element at the end of a double linked list. Now, if you see, it is the process or flowchart for deleting a element at the end of double linked list. So it contains completely 9 processes or 9 rules. Okay, these 9 rules I am going to explain in a programming manner. Now it is a flowchart. Why? Because I represented in a diagram manner. So in this, see, these are 1, 3, 6 are represented in a rhombus. So rhombus means it is a condition. So I already explained in the previous video. These are represents conditions. Now conditions I can write in two ways. First, I can write if else, or I can write iterative statements like while or for. Now which one I have to use? See, if I want to use if, this statement must execute only once or it must represent only once. And if I want to use a for or while loop, it must be repeated. Am I right? Now, if you check here, one, if I execute one either flows to 1, 2, n or 1, 3, 4. It is not coming back. Now, same happens at the 3 also. But if I consider the 6th, so 6th forwards to the 7 and again 7 is calling to 6 and again 6 goes to the 7. So it is a cyclic process. For that cyclic process, I will use the iterative statements like while or for. So 1 and 3 I will use if, and for 6 I will use while or for according to my requirements. Now I am going to explain the program conversion. Now it is a flowchart. Now I write that flowchart into a text manner or readable format. Then this algorithm will come. So algorithm contains 9 steps. Now I am going to explain, or I am going to convert this algorithm into a program. First I will write flowchart to algorithm, algorithm to program. So as you previously seen, double linked list structure. Now I will declare a function for deleting a element at the end. The function is deletion at last. So at the program starting, I declared a function. Now I want to write, or I will give the definition for that function. The first here, see, there's a same way. First two lines first represents the variables. Why I put two variables? If you see here, I will use the temporary two, and here I use the temporary. So two variables I used. As I previously discussed, first if you want to write a program, now check whether I am using any variables in the algorithm. So I already used temporary to and temporary. So first I need to represent, or I need to declare those variables. So in first step I created the variables. So temporary and temporary is to stores the addresses of the nodes or previous nodes or next node, whatever it may be. They are storing the nodes, so that's why I created the addresses for nodes or structures. I created a nodes. I created a addresses for nodes. Am I right? So I created temporary and temporary two variables according to my algorithm. Now I will move to the next first step. What is the first step? As you know, in every deletion operation, first I need to check whether it is the empty linked list or not. Second, if I is it the only element available in the linked list or not. In third, I will move to the swapping process. If these two are false, then I will go to the third process. So as usual, first I am checking whether it is a empty linked list or not. For that I am using if condition. As I already explained, it only occurs one time. Now if it is true, it will goes to the second step. In second step, what I am going to do, I am I am putting a error message. Why? Because if the first step is true, means that means there is no elements are available in the linked list. If the no elements are available, then I'm unable to delete the element. Am I right? So that's why I'm putting the error message. Now if that block is false, that means the some elements are available in the linked list, then I will go to the third step. In third step, I am checking whether it is the lonely element or not. How I am checking? Now I am storing the head value into a temporary variable. Now checking is the temporary next variable is null or not, or I can use temporary or head next is equals to null or not. Why? Because temporary represents null here up to this function only, up to this statement temporary represents head. Am I right? I can use head next equals to null or not, or temporary next equals to null or not. Okay, now if it is null means it is the only element available in the linked list. So as I am deleting at the end, if I delete this process, I can easily, or I can say that the linked list is empty, so I will directly put head equals to null as usual from the previous example also. So it will directly goes to the last step. So as we previously discussed, this if it is yes or no, it will go to the step 9. So I will write step 9 at the last. Now I am writing 4. After 4 I will forward to the 5. In 5 what will happen? If the third here this statement is false, then I will go to this step. Why? If it is the only element, it will become as null. If it is not, we have more than one element, I need to do the swapping operations. First I need to find last element, then only I can delete the element. Am I right? Now for that I am storing here head temporary 2, temporary storing temporary value into a temporary 2, here temporary moving the temporary variable to a next element. Now what is happening here? Why I am doing this? So initially temporary contains first element. Am I right? Now if I execute this process, now first element contains temporary 2 contains first element. Am I right? Here temporary contains first element. That first element stores in temporary 2. Now I am moving the temporary to a next element, that is 2. Here it contains first element, it contains second element. Am I right? Now if I have 4 elements, now temporary 2 contains first element, temporary contains third element. Now I need to move to the up to last element. Now temporary 2 to temporary 3. Temporary 2 will become 3, temporary become 4. So what is the last element? Temporary. So in temporary field I will store the last element. Temporary 2 stores previous of last element. If I delete this last element, I need to make this before last element as a last element of a double linked list. Am I right? So that's why I'm storing this process. I'm using this process. So here it is storing previous element, it is storing the current element. The current element is nothing but the last element. You can say finding last element. So first to last it will be stored mainly in temporary. Now, so here it is completely blocked. So that's why I removed in the next slide. For last slide I will explain, and I will show complete program in a one window. Now I am removing up to this fourth step. Here you can see this one, okay, else block. This fifth block is here. Am I right? This fifth block is here. Now I am going to explain the sixth one. Here what I am checking, whether it is the last element existed in the linked list or not. It is the last element or not. Now where I can find the last element? In temporary. So that's why I am checking, is the temporary next equals to null or not. So here it is checking. Alright, as I previously explained, 6th and 7th are in continuous loops. So for 6, now I have to use iterative statements like while or for. Now I am using while. According to my concern, I am using while. Okay, now while. Here I will write the while. It is a condition. If it is true, or if it is true, that means it is not equals to null, then I have to swap. I need to move to the forward. So for that forward, again I am repeating these statements. Temporary to, sorry, become seriously here it is. Temporary to stores temporary value, temporary stores temporary next. This process will be executed until I find the last element. So here 7th step, it again goes to the 6th step. Again I am checking whether it is the last element or not. If it is not, it will go to the 7th, but again it will go to the 6th step. So that's why I used the while. Am I right? Now if I find the last element, that means If the temporary next variable is null, then I will move to the 8th step. Now what is 8th step? In 8th step, now I find the last element which is stored in the temporary. So I delete the temporary, I need to delete temporary variable. For that I am using or I am setting temporary next variable as null. Temporary to next variable as null. Why? Because temporary to is the before temporary. Temporary is last element. The temporary to is the before of last element. So I need to do this element as a last element. How can I do that one? By simply putting the this element next address field as null. Previously it refers to the something. Now it is representing null. That means it will become as a last element. So for that I am doing temporary to next element as null. Then I will go to the 9th step. Here also if it is head equals to null, it is the 4th step. Am I right? It is the 4th step. In 4th step also if it is null, it will go to the simply go to the 9th step. What is the 9th step? I am freeing the space. If it is done completely, is 6th, 7th and 8th are done completely, then it goes to the 9th step. What is 9th step? I need to empty the memory space. Previously here what I have done, here I deleted from the double linked list, but I need to create the memory also. For that I am using free. So here I deleted the data from the memory also. So this is the complete program if I want to delete a element from the double linked list at the end. So see, the program first two represents the variables which I am going to use in the program. Here this if condition, this is the first statement, whether I am checking it is a empty double linked list or not. If it is yes, I will put a error message. Step 2, am I right? Now these are comes under if it is not true. So else here I will do the step 3. In step 3 what I am going to do, I am storing the head value into a temporary variable for further usage and checking in third step whether it is the single element available in the linked list or not. So temporary next is double equals to null or not. If it is yes, then fourth step I will do head equals to null. I will simply put head equals to null and I will go to the 9th step. What is the 9th step? Free. Am I right? Here I write it is the if block, it is the else block. This 9th step is common for this block and this block, not to this block. Am I right? This block, common message is this one. So if only element available or multiple elements available, I need to delete the data, whichever the data is available in the at the last position. So that is this one is common for these two blocks. Okay, so that's why if it is yes, okay, it will become as null. It will completely come to the free space. If it is not null, that means I have some values other than the first element. So I will swap to find out here. I will swap the data to find out the last element of the double linked list. Then I will delete from the double linked list and I free the space. The same process. It is the 9th step. Here I have done. Now to find out the variables, here I am storing temporary variable into a temporary 2 and I am moving the temporary variable into a next one. So here temporary stores the last element, here it stores the previous element of the last previous element. Now here while I am doing the while loop, I am checking whether it is the last element or not. If it is last element, if it is not last element, I will move to the next element until this process will be done until I find the last element of a double linked list. If I find the double linked list last element, then the previous element which is stored in the temporary 2 next value become as null. Why? Because I need to first cut the relation between last before element and last element. So I have done this here. Then it goes to the freeing space. Then finally I will put a success message. This is the program for double linked list deletion at the end. Okay. Now if I want to delete a element at the end of a single linked list, then what I have to do? See, in the previous video, for single and double linked list, there is only one line change for deleting an element at the start. Now if I want to delete it at end, what I have to do? Nothing, no changes. This only program, this complete program, I can use for deleting a element at the end of a single linked list also. Why? Because see, in single linked list, in double linked list, the only difference is storing previous element. See, check this complete program. Is anywhere I use the previous element address? No. So I can use this program for single linked list also. So for single linked list and double linked list, deletion of a element at the end is same process and program are both are same. I hope everyone understand how I am deleting a data at the end of a double linked list. In next video, I will explain how I am going to delete the element at the desired position or desired element. Thank you.